right? I always see that that's usually people on. I never really see younger people doing that. I feel like younger people are more the traditionalist than.
Yeah, in LA, it's a little different. LA, I think, is one of the hubs of that kind of alternative lifestyle. So I was very much active in the BDSM community here, both for research and personal interest at the time. And you saw every type of age at that point. You had people feel very comfortable here, kind of talking about that, going to certain events, arranging their own events that are kind of like age specific. I think when going to Florida and more Middle America, again, or East Coast places, it definitely is older people who kind of know what they want and how to navigate it.
So I guess my next question is a little more poignant. You don't believe that marriage is a little bit antiquated? Might be on its way out?
Yes and no. I mean, I think there are some people that are like, I'm monogamous and that is clear. And those people should be with monogamous people. Like, I've met plenty of people that just want one person, not because they're not wired to like other people, but because it's not their priority to like be with a bunch of different people and explore their sexuality and all this stuff. So those people should marry each other. That's amazing. Non-monogamous people should definitely be with non-monogamous people. Marriage definitely shouldn't be forcing yourself to date someone that does.
Grinder.
Like, it has a lot of issues for you.
I feel like it's a valid argument for each side, but you know, I hope not everybody's that I know is watching this. I already had this argument a bunch of times at bar, different places. I always argued that people have the habit of going against nature by nature's design. So I always say, look, when a lion takes over the pride, he doesn't take one lioness; he takes the entire pride. In rare case, he may share with like another lion, and it's very rare, but he usually takes over the whole pride. I said, this is gonna sound horrible, but let me just say, right? In some cases, I had to argue with a lady at the bar. Mind you, I was drunk. Give me a little leeway here.
He's drunk
I
a
was
lot.
like this. I said, if you go outside today, now this was against guys who were arguing with me about marriage, stuff like that. Right? I said, if you go outside today, bro, how many people you think you could mate with and have children, right? He goes, oh, I would only want to pick one person. But I said, I'm asking you what you would prefer to do. I'm what you can do, what you physically can do. He said, well, I guess I could have multiple people. I said, now, how many times a day do you think the other half of the sex is designed to do that? They can get pregnant once. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting pregnant multiple times a day. So I was like, so do you think nature is interested at you picking one forever, or doesn't care about your personal want? It cares about maximum outcome. So it's by design, it wants you to mix and mingle. It wants you to meet multiple times, maybe multiple people. You know, you actually get better genetic diversity when you mix with multiple people. You know, I don't know. It's just something I've talked about with different people. You know?
Yeah. And arguably, women have easy access to multiple orgasms. There's a book called Untrue, which talks about kind of new age philosophy on how women, like men typically are the ones that want non-monogamy until they try it with their woman, and then women are like, wait a second, what? And then they go off and whatever. And men are like, no, I just want to be monogamous with you. But I honestly think if we were just like in the wild, following our primal instincts, yeah, we would be more of a sharing culture. It would be less about like ownership and boundaries and like this is what the institution looks like. But essentially, we evolved out of that. If you look at the way we generally live our lives, marriage and relationships are made to simplify the fact that we're no longer just roaming nature looking for stuff to eat all day and having sex to produce a species. We have to like go to jobs we maybe don't love. We have to perform for a certain amount of time. We have to organize our resources to then maximize our future potential with our family, maybe procreate. It's a lot more complex. So I think our relationship now, the models we've seen, is more a reflection of the values that we've imposed on society and the ones that we elect to live personally.
I remember I used to talk about Freud and Rousseau, right? And I remember Rousseau used to talk a lot about the inner savage, right? How, children are a perfect example of the inner savage, right? If you watch them, they just do things. They enjoy it, they explore, they learn. They're not afraid to say something wrong, be corrected. But, and as adults, we're shifted into this whole system of, oh my God, you watch yourself. You're gonna do this wrong. You're gonna get fired. This is, you know what I'm saying? And you just get trapped.
Yeah, little things in your head telling you can't do things. Yeah.
Yeah, societal expectation.
Totally. That's a great segue into like the inner savage itself, especially for men. Like, you guys' two primal instincts are fucking kill, and there's no expression of that savagery like a place in society where you can just kind of unleash that experience and practice what it feels like in your body, and then control it and elect to use it, let's say in sex or in your business meeting or whatever.
Anything. Yeah.
Right, you just have to like constrain and control it. That's how you're taught to control it. And so it can feel really you see all these philosophies and having like wild, savage, powerful sex, but you're not really taught how to experience your own wild aspects of yourself. So there are these kind of like old Taoist practices of like beat the shit out of a pillow and you get really present into what that like unfiltered rage feels like in your body. And you do that a few times just to practice like, what does my own unlimited power feel like in my own body? You do the same with like fucking or low, not even sexually, you're fully dressed, but you just do it to like, what does it look like when I'm not like concerned about hurting a human or like, hurting myself or something like that? And just like then getting present again and breathing through it and like, oh, what do these animal instincts feel like in my body, so that we're navigating more of our primal instincts with more grace in our day to day.
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna ask you a question.
All right, so, I mean, I guess I'm not making an argument for constraint and, fuck a kill and eat sandwiches. I definitely eat sandwiches. But, some of those, are those constraints really, I feel like constraints are just a figment of our imagination. It's something that we civilized ourselves into. Now, I'm not talking about go out and murder people, because that's just what you want to do and just release all of your constraints. But, why do you need to, I'm just pushing that against why do you need to go beat the crap out of a pillow or bone a pillow? Why can't you just go outside and say what you want to say to who you want to say it to? Or, I feel like that would be more cathartic than, like, all right, obviously we all, well, not everyone, but we all work and we have jobs. Maybe our boss might get on nerves and we're like, oh my God, I just want to punch you in the face. And I'm not advocating punching him in the face unless you win the lotto, in which case, punch him right in the face. But, why are we not training each other to have those crucial conversations with people outside, so we don't have to be so pent up to have to punch a pillow? Why aren't we not able to just go out and just have that conversation with the person or solve that outside stressor?
Yeah, no, this is a great question. And I have anger practice, like an outlet. You have to live a life like not naturally. You're at work, you have a boss, you can't just say what you feel in the moment, so you just constrict it. As you constrict it, your body goes into tension, and you store all of that stress over time in one area of your body, especially if you're constantly angry at someone or your boss or your circumstances financially or whatever it is. So what you're doing with beating the pillow, it's like a meditation in a sense. You're just like emptying the locker, so that when that person says something that bugs you and you'd like to communicate that you're not okay with that, you don't unleash like 10 years of repressed rage on them and by accident like really hurt the stranger.
We're not coming out that. Yeah.
Yeah. So does that help clarify? You're just kind of like practicing with that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say you're taking the edge off it. You're taking some of the bite off it before you actually go and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, and so the challenge is actually in my body. Yeah. Like anger is such a powerful experience, such a powerful tool that we have, and we're not taught how to use it. How do you act with anger? Anger is there to keep us safe. Anger is there to tell us that someone crossed our boundaries. Anger is there to tell us that we cross our own boundaries. Anger is there to tell us we want something different than what we have. It's very powerful communication. But if it's overwhelmed by decades of not experiencing, practicing, and letting go of that anger, you're gonna have a lot of conflicting messages. It's gonna be a bunch of jumbled like tension and rage that just wants to come out whatever it sees.
Yeah. You want to ask something? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It was really about work now, because it's just to the idea that pent upness that you don't get to get out sometimes. But I forgot who said it, but only those when you go too far can possibly find out how far one can go. And unless you have an opportunity to push yourself to that limit, and see what it looks like, always you keep it pent up. You may call that the wrong moment. The moment you don't want that limit to be found, you're like, oh boy, it's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Tony, you're at the gym, right? You're at the gym, work out. You ever go, nah, it's not good work. I'm gonna keep going a little bit further.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, but it's not working on my anger.
You're like this. Oh boy, that was too much. Maybe. Well, at least what that feel like now. Now I can.
Oh, I actually saying.
Myself.
I hear what you're saying. So, is there any validity, Jennifer, pushing something to the limit? Is how far it can go, or how far I guess the person you're actually dealing with, how much they can take?
Oh, interesting. Two different.
Makes sense. I think not the person.
I'm very confrontational. Like, there's only like maybe one or two people in my life that I handle with kid gloves. But I mean, me and Shy were partners, and he's seen me like just come to people's faces because that's just what I do. Because I just don't like it to be underneath the surface, So what limitations are kind of settle around well, my own, I guess my own reality, being that I can't be too aggressive because there's no way to put it. Like I'm a 225 pound, 6 foot tall black man, and I don't want cops to be cold on me. But I will say things that will definitely push the limits, and it kind of bothers me that other people don't. You know, I mean, you could even bring this back to what we were talking about earlier with the sexual dependency. If you can't have this conversation in the bedroom or outside the bedroom, you just are afraid to step into somebody's face and say, "Hey, this is what I need. This is what you're doing. This is how you're infringing on me," and you just can't get.
Comfortable receiving it. Like, I wouldn't recommend you be with someone who's like has a lot of sexual trauma and has never ever talked about sex and like absolutely doesn't want to and like doesn't touch herself or in any way kind of want that life. That would be total misery for you. Um, but what was the question right before
I
that?
guess it's more about the question was more based on like pushing the limits. Like what, like I want to push my limits on what I can say to somebody, but how much too much because you don't want to, I guess, have the person crushing you to be completely turned off.
So it's two things. One, like seeing how far you can push yourself, like how are your anger is. Again, beating up a pill, whatever, it's not show you anything miraculous, but you are gonna feel like how much rage is after, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then telling somebody how angry, it's not an excuse to then not tell the person that like what they did really hurt your feeling, pissed you off. It's just that you're unloading some of that trigger. If you come at someone with a bunch of rage, it doesn't matter how right you are. They're gonna be on the defense. You're not gonna have a productive conversation. It's gonna be confrontational. They're gonna be worried about protecting themselves versus really hearing you and actively committing to like changing whatever it is you're really pissed off about or making amends for whatever they hurt you about. So I think it's twofold. One, like doing your part to kind of get centered with how angry you are and how you're going to communicate. And two, yeah, on some level, if you're like, I enjoy communicating with this level of intensity, I want to be able to communicate my anger with this level of intensity, you're going to need to be with someone that can handle it. So at the beginning, if you're being really honest about that, that may some people won't like it, but that might not be the right person for you then if this isn't something that you're interested in changing.
I mean, well, the next question I want to ask you is, do you are you able to apply these techniques in your personal life? I mean, you don't have to go deep into your relationship status, but what I mean is like I always feel like, and I'm around coaches, so I always feel like coaches are it's very easy for a coach to inform a client on, hey, these are steps that you should in fact take, you know, because they're taking a position they're looking from the bird's eye view, you know. How many of these techniques have you used in your own life and have been effective?
Yeah, great question. Tons. I mean, I think the main reason I became a coach is because I was full time researching how to maximize my relationships. I tend to pick people that are multidimensionally complex just because that's who I was raised with. We had a ton of different cultures. It was like a lot of activity. So for me, relationships themselves are why I live my life. Now, I have a lot of experience in past around codependency, is what essentially led me to like acknowledge that in human sex in our sex life now. But growing out of that and then noticing what kind of relationships I had and learning how to grow out of those and really pick someone intentionally. And now my current relationship, also being able to navigate all of these things because we are a monogamous relationship. It means that I'm constantly being pushed to not only develop new strategies but research how to navigate these waters. This is my first time in an alternative relationship like this one. How to date other people while you're in a committed relationship and living with someone. Like all of these things that then when I offer them to people, it's because I've experienced like this is how you'll negotiate this conflict in a just monogamous relationship, which in retrospect is so much easier.
So it sounds like you probably have a lot more communication. Okay, Sean, good.
I remember I read this a couple years back. I read this funny article in I don't know if it was the Daily News or New York Times, but it was very interesting. Actually, it might have been Metro because that seems like the paper to have an article. But it basically talked about this couple that were together for 15 years, and like one lived in like Texas, the other guy lived in like Connecticut, but they were a couple and they've been together 15 years, and their relationship, they see other people, but they would always together at time of the year, and they'd be like together, and they would take photos and would post them, and I was like, this a different kind of relationship, you know, like this or that.
Is that all you know? I mean, how would you
Interesting, you know. And while they may have changed other partners throughout the years of side pieces, they have stuck together all those years.
something that just goes a lot further than just sex, right? I mean,
It has to.
or ownership.
That just does a lot.
Is ownership direct connected to monogamy?
I think it's the way that marriage was so like divided all the thing, right? So the woman raised the kids, and would pay the money. It was an economic arrangement.
Land and property and like that. It's a real purpose. It's a real purpose.
Not anymore.
Yeah, and now it's like that. So if you're getting into a non-monogamous relationship for sex, you're soon to be monogamous because it's so much work. Like really negotiating in a way where everybody is happy, having multiple partners is very intense. think monogamy is less necessarily about party and more about ease and level. How much energy do you really want to be spending on someone's hurt feelings, on negotiating space and money and time and resources and patience and all of your
That relationship, then you are purely monogamous relationship, or all of the plugins if you are at a open relationship. What do you think you've been your happiest in, and what you suggest to a person asking that question? Or hey, what's next to me? I like a lot of people, but I really like her.
So we started open, just no rules. I don't recommend that for anyone.
Okay.
That was very
unbridled, not unbridled. Okay.
yeah, just very idealistic. I was a philosophy major for my undergrad, and I was like, bring it on. It was a mess. So he had been open his whole life. I was just like idealistically um, so curious about it. Can we actually love everybody? Is there enough love for the whole world? I was just like, let's change the world with free love. And the reality of it is, um, if you're curious about open, absolutely try it, but really get clear about why. Like for me, I just loved a lot of different people, and there was a lot of pain in having to choose who was going to be the one I was allowed to love openly. If I had known about open earlier, I could have mine and people a little bit pain because I would have understood I could love both and be confused and totally okay. I did end up choosing guys. I don't love one, which is that one. Finding love is a horrible experience. If you're in it together, you're gonna get messy. Like people's emotions are really hard, and the community is really actively proactive about weeding out like people who are not to be trusted, people who are manipulative or lazy for other people's feelings. Like it takes so much work to be open that you'll quickly find out why you're in it. And if it's for sex, you're not open. You just want to be single and sleeping around. You want to be open. You're talking about negotiating a lot of people's hearts, a lot of people's things, and money. And yeah, you're gonna be confronted with a lot of people's trauma and fear as well. It got really messy really fast.
This is what you about the community? Like you have enough group, and you have to get membership.
Well, in the end of the community, like, all right, every single city will have a community. You just have to if it's BDSM into there is a BDSM community in the city. I know how small they're very big. If open community will generally do maybe people who are more open to maybe people need to stand up. So if you're in a relationship not open, if there's no one else that knows you guys or whatever.
And talking about swings, right?
Yeah, things with spaces with not a committed partnership, so you're just kind of like trading and you have them together, but it ends there. Yeah. But not like that just means that you're actually okay. It means you're not. Maybe you go to next party together to point anywhere. Maybe it means you sometimes another person and to the primaries or something like that. It could be just kind of flared with opportunity and open a discussion. What's open is like you can love with other people. You're just committed to one person. You have polyamory where there's no hierarchy. Polyamory, everybody is prime. It's really hard. And it really it's very different. Open still typically have your one primary relationship.
Yeah, with pizza with extra toppings.
Everybody doesn't want anything like pizza.
You still gonna eat the main pie, but I have pepperoni, pineapple. Here, I don't know about mushroom.
You can't laugh. You gotta find another mushroom person.
I think, honestly, I can't say anything on here. But
please, I'm gonna get in trouble.
I'm a person who likes to be honesty. You know what I'm saying? I went on a trip last year, and I spoke to some friends on the beach. I said, without instrument, I'm not your judge. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be asked, what do you want? You know? And one guy sat there for like a solid minute. He's like, bro, it's going to sound easy, but he said, I want everything. You know? Mm-hmm. He said, I want everything. He said, I want the good. I want the bad. No, he said, I take the good and accept bad that comes with it. But I want everything because life is a goblet. I want to drink the entire thing. And I said, man, I feel you on that, and a lot of people are afraid to say that they want all of something, because they're so conditioned, my opinion, to follow this beaten path. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to marry 25, you have to get a job, and you have to get a house, and you have to have 2.5 kids. You know what I'm saying? I get so stuck in that rhythm.
Next year's question, let's put on what he just asked. So, if you have kids, right, and you're bringing your kids up, would you teach those lessons to your kids? Would you tell them, hey, listen, you could date one person, multiple people. And I mean, like the cookie cutter, you can do whatever you want. You can be what you want. I mean, like legitimately, by the internet, when it gets to about 10 to 13 kind of parent you are, and really start having that conversation and send them on a completely different trajectory than what we're all used to. What Shalaka was just bringing up,
Yeah, great question. I think honestly, the kids that are growing up right now are going to be growing up in a really different environment than we grew up in. We've got non-binary, we've got transsexuals, we've got maybe that I have a lot of younger cousins, they don't really that. Whereas my parents, like, I understand, you know, they're kind of growing up in a phase where this is already popular media, like Glee or any of those series that are speaking to the kids are actually already touching on people who are doing two people at once, or the new philosophies that are coming out. The younger generations are already like, yeah, that's an option we have. I don't understand why you guys have a problem with it. So they're going to teach us a lot about what that looks like when you grow up with it as an option. But I think essentially I would just teach them about it. Like, the thing you need to learn most about if you're in an open, no polyamorous relationship is that it doesn't mean to do whatever you want at all. It means that you are negotiating. Like, here's my desire. What would I need to make that desire feel good to you, safe for you, and then not doing it until you guys perfect that strategy, until it's actually successfully done, to the extent that no one's leaving the equation feeling horribly abandoned and pain and hurt. And that takes so much work in a win, honesty, and that's what I want to just communication, honesty, integrity, admitting when you fuck up, and really being aware of what they're doing if they're gonna date people.
So I guess you would also have to add. Okay, so there's so many things that we have now in conflict with that. So aside from, I mean, politics of that, you know, and how other people are raising their kids, you shouldn't have to be constrained by what other people do with their kids. But you still need. I would say that you still need to be able to have your child be able to function correctly around other kids, or maybe you don't. You know, maybe that's my old world thinking. You know, because to completely release a child from all the bonds that I grew up with, aren't we really talking about, like, oh my God, it's so deep into the construct. Like, it's something as silly as, okay, well, maybe I don't want my kids watching Disney movies, you know, because those are fraught with social constructs. You know, if you're trying to get your child to understand that they can have any type of relationship that they want, and then you sit them in front of a television and now they're watching, you know, Snow White. Well, maybe Snow White and Seven Dwarfs is a good movie. But there's a lot of other very traditional, you know, shows on TV that rage against those things, you know. I mean, are you